Hey everybody, it is Eric, it is Mental. We are back from the long dark night of High Plains Drifter, our annual 24-hour race in Colorado at High Plains Raceway, where we were blessed by a deity and we saw a couple of awesome performances.
It was the kind of weekend that reminded us that sky's the limit. Now, some people think that 24-hour races are terrible. I love them, but High Plains is a really awesome place for a night race. Highly recommended you get there for one at some point. Our light tech really has figured out headlights for people without being blinding, and that is hella sweet. Lighted numbers, we're struggling with that one. Look for some new rules and information in 26.
On the subject of lights and things you can do with lights, there was Sparkle Rosa's Nightmare. Now, we saw this team at Carolina Motorsports Park with a Miata that was unicorn themed and named after Team Captain Vince's daughter's idea for it. They came back with an evil unicorn Miata for this race, which was hella sweet, but even better, they had this crazy projecting light bar that made these huge banners across the sky when you took a photograph of it. Look at this.
Now, your judges for this race were, of course, Eric, me, Tom Webb, and Pacific Northwest racer Trapper Bailey. Kiss was famously pointed out during the Satanic Panic as Knights in Satan's Service. Judge Tom suggested the judges should be Knights in Lemon Service.
Ladies and gentlemen, you wanted the best, you got the best. The lemonest judges in the land. Woo! Kills! Kills!
Now, a long race means the Knights in Lemon Service have far more time to dispense penalties, and boy, did we have some good ones.
I got stuck in traffic for 3 hours on the way to this race, so naturally, I rewrote the lyrics to Detroit Rock City for a team to karaoke. And the number 766 got this one, and not only did they lean into it, they practiced it until it was up to their standards. And then they put on their version of Kiss makeup to drive the point home.
That's a love that my stickers burn. I got to laugh because it's karaoke time. It's fine.
Somebody bribed us with a Slim Jim, so we tasked a team with opening their locked streetcar with the break-in tools. It turns out there's a YouTube tutorial for literally anything.
Plain BMW got the Bob Ross penalty, and they even worked Blucifer into the landscape with the approval of Lemon's resident art critic, Jan Webb.
The V6 Mustang of still deciding team name got a couple of penalties. We put one of their team members on the roof, and then we gave them the Bart Simpson, but they actually had to write the names of every single team entered in the race. This is actually a two-car team, which had a pretty rough weekend. We will talk about their other car in a little bit. As we have come to expect in Colorado, there was a ton of awesome stuff in the field. We'll start with Arc Flash and their twin-engine Ford Focus. Team Captain Quincy is a bit of a madman, I think, and he did this twin-engine conversion without really having worked on cars at all.
So naturally, he entered it in both of the 24-hour races Lemons had this year.
Yeah. Totally reasonable thing to do. Now, this was a joint effort with Hangar 13 Racing, who brought California welding extraordinaire Erica Snow out from California to help the team and to help fix a bunch of other broken cars, as she always does. Now, that's all well and good, but the car shows up re-themed for every single event as well. This time, the Focus itself was the flying spaghetti monster, complete with whirling noodly appendages. There were speeches, there were robes, there was fantastic paddock transportation. It was amazing. Very well done.
On the subject of paddock transportation, car number 11, Rotten Spud, VW Golf TDI, they've got a home-built paddock ride that is in no way sketchy.
The Mile High Pistons with their PT Cruiser brought a lawnmower pit vehicle that is matching to the PT Cruiser.
Also hella sweet, car number 4, So Fast, BMW E36. Now, Team Captain Friezo showed up as a lookalike to Lemon's Texar, John Pagel. And the now Kraftwerk-themed 318i is competitive and not cheating, as shown on their dyno sheet.
Now, this was my first time going to a Colorado race, and one of the cars I've wanted to see for many years is Gun Barrel Cobra's Volvo 940, which has the classic Volvo swap, a Toyota 1UZ V8 with a supercharger from a Cadillac STS.
Well,
obviously, they won the race.
Okay.
Like all major cities, Denver has its share of personal injury attorney billboards. And among the cast of characters of Frank Azar, the strong arm.
Car wreck, call in the strong arm, Frank Azar.
Stay Classy Racing did their own lawyer theme with Hank Mazar, the fat arm of the law. And they offered to sue your teammates or stab a guy. Great team.
Dog Days Racing, towed from Minnesota with their Miata, did a pretty good cowboy/rodeo theme.
187, Fudd's Rabbit. Now they chewed up a valve, but not before they had Judge Eric bobbing for carrots at BS inspection.
We can open the trunk too.
Yay! No!
I think I straightened my neck.
You injured at work?
Dog Bite Racing have this huge red Ford Crown Victoria, and they bribed us with Clifford the Big Red Dog, which they totally did not steal from a church playground or anything.
Right.
Another team brought the Horniest Hoopty Award for emulating what it feels like to use your horn in Denver traffic. The Dog Bite guys won with this.
Now, there were no shortage of but terribles at this race, like 86 Special EDAHDH. It was a Pontiac GTO. They went old school Chevy small block, 4-speed manual behind it. Now, I think it would have been cooler with a Pontiac 389 in it. They were soundly defeated by hood pin failure Friday night practice. Now, they found some Lexan to fix their busted windshield, got it back on track, and then something in the clutch linkage failed on lap 3. They finished DFL.
That's disappointing.
We had a couple of notable 24-hour performances. Arc Blast and their EV conversion Datsun 620. They finished 26th with 446 laps, which by my math is 1,137 miles. And that is a new Lemons record for an EV, and they're coming really close to the all-time record for a single race EV anywhere in the entire world. Yeah, here are your class winners. Now, all of the class winners were from out of state, but the Class B winner, Taco Cat Race Car, towed the farthest 25 hours from Washington. It's an amazing team with a great vibe, and the difference we think in winning might be their drag reduction system.
Now, your Class C winner was number 41, and that's Max Moments Motorsports in a Lincoln LS. The final driver even had time to come in for a bathroom break.
Justin, how does it feel to be leading Class C on the way to a win? I am not even thinking about that. I had to pee.
Now, before we talk about the heroic fix, there was one honorable mention, which is Thunder Chicken, which is a Ford Thunderbird. These guys came from Iowa, and at a pit stop, they noticed that water was leaking onto the open trailer from underneath the car.
That's not good.
It turns out that it was the plug on the back of the block, which means they had to take the engine and the transmission out, separate them, replace the plug, put it all back in. They'd spent all of Friday doing that. Then they found out that their headlights wouldn't work because of some electrical gremlin. Then they fixed that, and then the ECU fried, so they had to go to a junkyard and get another one. And then when the control arm finally failed, a brand new control arm, mind you, they were like, you know what? We should probably just get out of here.
Now, the actual heroic fix was car number 99, TMMI Motorsport, in the Toyota Camry. Now, this is one of the longest hauls from southern Indiana, and it's a team of Toyota factory engineers who basically run a Lemons team the way some companies have a softball team. Toyota lends them a space to work on the car, and that's really about it. Now, they showed up and prepared an engine they had just refreshed, ran the test day, and the rods started knocking in about half an hour. Like many veteran Lemons teams, they travel with their high mileage, untouched backup engine, whose tolerances are probably a lot sloppier and the power is a little bit of lacking. They put on the greatest movie of all time while they worked swapping the backup engine. It only took about 3 or 4 hours, and they were able to even pass light tech and get in some night practice. They led a lot of the race and ended up finishing second, and that's hella sweet. Now, one other little thing, when they were in second place, the leading Miata, number 121, came in to change tires in the middle of the night. The Camry team's captain, James, was there, holding up some extra light for the Miata to work. And that's the kind of camaraderie that we love.
I Got Screwed went to 24 hours of Le Mans. Now, this is a senior engineering project for students at the Colorado School of Mines. They took the first 2 things they could get their hands on cheaply, a first-generation Miata and a 5-liter V8 out of a Ford Mustang. Unsurprisingly, the radiator hose blew off spectacularly 3 laps into the race. They spent the next 7 hours burping the coolant system, trying to get it level enough that they could get enough water in. Their next attempt at driving resulted in the car steaming and being pushed back into the paddock in the middle of the night. It was a good run.
I've had better runs after food poisoning. Now, for the special award, we had 3 brand new teams all show up in a Ford Focus.
No Frills, Just Thrills showed up with a Spirit Airlines themed Ford Focus. That was hella sweet.
Number 22, Too Fast, Too Focus. Now, that was an awesome family team showing up at their first race. Blew up after 3 laps, which sucks. But then they sold their tires to their neighbors.
And those pit neighbors were the only Focus running at the end of the race. Ford versus Edison. Now, of all the foci in this race, they showed up with the absolute worst one, the 2008 to 2012, unsurprisingly plagued by oil leaks, blown up half shafts, and like 800 other things. Generally speaking, they had an amazing attitude, and in addition, the aforementioned number 766 BMW guys lost the filler cap on their fuel cell, and it was like a weird one that not many people have, so they could not find another cap. One of these Focus guys walked right past and said, "Oh yeah, I have that one at home. I'll go get it. I'll be right back." The BMW finished the race. That was all hella sweet. So we called this trophy the Fully Oopsed Repairs Delayed.
Judge's choice was 777, Deerstang, and Ford Mustang.
We weren't really sure which of the teams deserved the trophy per se. We had the teams arm wrestle for it. Organizer's choice went to the Jiggy Mobile, which was a team of high school kids with a 1997 Motor Trend Car of the Year Chevy Malibu that has been around Lemons for a little while. They did a pretty good dinosaur hunter theme, which was good enough, but honestly, the theme is the car here. And in this case, they didn't appear to have done any work since acquiring it. The interior was filled with leaves and dirt and all kinds of things. We gave them like a 0% chance of making it to 4 o'clock. As it turns out, the Malibu has the GM sound of power, of course. And they kept it going for almost 24 hours. The only things that kept it off track were needing a nap at 4 a.m., which I totally understand, and then with about an hour to go, the hood pins failed and it came up and broke the windshield. That sucked. It was tough to see them go out that way, but these guys had an awesome time. Welcome to Lemons, the Jiggy Mobile.
Index of affluency was number 523, Zintronkov Dumkov. 2-car team of like vehicles, a Mustang GT and a Geo Metro. But the Geo Metro is the big block with a 1.3 liter and the 4-cylinder. That's a long-time team, and the Metro usually beats the Mustang. It didn't this time, but it did finish 27th with the slowest lap time. Virtually unkillable cars. We think everybody should race a Geo Metro. We've been saying that for 15 years. Well done.
That brings us at last to the Halloween Meets Gasoline for the best theme, and it went to Savage Orchid Racing, who is one of those teams that really has HMG dialed in. They come up with a theme and they stick to it all weekend. That's the key. This weekend they became Scavage Orchid with their best second wave ska outfits, checkerboards, hats, the whole thing. They were skanking, which is how you dance to ska for the non-ska inclined, and they were blasting ska music out of their paddock all weekend and around the paddock. It was great. Team Captain Nick even learned how to play the trombone just for this race. And it's really the details that matter. Things like the Rude Boy license plate and custom-made pins is really solid. And not only that, since potluck dinners are hard to have during a 24-hour race, they did Lemon's first ever pancake breakfast Saturday before the race. That was hella sweet. But that's not all. They also gave out that horniest honker trophy for the team with the best horn, or team who emulates the best horn. And just to wrap it all together, they also brought Bumblebee Tuna for the Spam of Damocles style penalty, but, you know, smellier because of the Mephistopheles version of the Bumblebee Tuna song. Yum, yum, Bumblebee, Bumblebee Tuna. Just every little ska detail shoved into an entire weekend. So well done. Here is Lemons in a Nutshell.
Was it a number 1 or a really fast 2? Oh, God. Number 3.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?